With the recent update 1.8.1, we introduced the first step in our brand new quest system. So Kseniia, could you tell us what is new in it and how it exactly works?
Definitely. So we will have this new system that's called Summons with update 1.8.1. And with this system, we want to bring more flexibility and more control to players what quests they actually want to do in their missions. The new system will look like a bunch of quests. And for each quest, people can get points, and players can get reward, like in-game reward. It can be instance of weapon, it can be $100, it can be in blood bonds. To complete the main goal, players will need to collect 30 points. And these points collected with the different completion of the different quests.
You mentioned players have to earn 30 stars or 30 points to complete the weekly challenge. Could you explain us how that exactly works? How many times they can do the quests?
Yes, absolutely. So initially, players will have 2 slots where they can select 2 different quests or summons, and they can progress simultaneously in these 2 quests. Also, there is the 3rd slot that player can unlock with the blood bonds, and player will be progressing even faster, because now it's like 3 quests can be done simultaneously. After quest completed, player getting the in-game reward, and also player getting the stars or point that you need to collect to progress towards the main reward. A very important part that player can repeat one quest over and over again multiple times until they get this main reward. So basically, if some quests they are way too difficult to complete, player can choose the easier one and simpler, and progress with this quest and repeat it until the amount of point that's needed is collected. Basically, that's an answer on the question how many times player can repeat one quest. So as many times as needed and as desirable. Player will get the in-game reward only on the first completion, but after rewards, when the quest will be repeated, they will get only points, or how we call them, stars.
There's always a set amount of quests. When are they changing, and when can they do different quests?
The set of the quest will be updated every Monday. So basically, player will have 1 week to reach this goal of 30 points. And after this period of time is over, the set of quests is going to be reshuffled.
So you said that quests are going to be reshuffled. Does that mean that it's going to be the same for everyone, or different per teammate, or how is it exactly going to be in the game?
So every Monday, when a set of quests is going to be updated, they will be generated randomly for each player. So it's not necessarily that you will have the same set of quests as your teammate or your friend, because they will be different. The categories, though, will remain the same for everyone. So everyone will have quests for 1 point, everyone will have quests for 4 points, but the actual condition on to complete this quest will be and can be different for different players.
And since we are talking about teammates here, what happens if 2 players have the same quest? If they are in a party, can they complete at the same time? And do they contribute to each other's quests or not?
Yes, we basically saved this consistency from the daily challenges. So if your teammate is making an action that should be counted towards your progress in the before challenge now quest, that it will be counted for you as well.
Thank you for the great explanation, Kseniia. For all the players there, we do have an FAQ and explanation blog online that you can read now. So if you have any more questions regarding the quest system, please make sure to read that. And if you have any questions, you can still ask on social media or Discord or wherever you want. Let's talk a bit about why we created this system. What was wrong with our previous challenges, the daily and weekly challenges? And what do you think, how this will help improving Hunt, and how is it important for the future of Hunt?
Thank you very much for this question. Well, I wouldn't phrase that was like something was wrong with daily and weekly challenges. They just weren't functioning as we expected. And we also saw a lot of the feedback from players in the different sources that they kind of unhappy that they do not have a control on what they actually need to do to get daily or weekly challenges done. That was one of the reasons what we saw, and also that the whole progress interface for this was pretty much hidden, and it was not visible to players where they can actually track the progress, and they had to do a lot of clicks to reach it, and that was like another reason. So basically we combined these two reasons and realized that we want to give more control to players so they can select what they actually want to do to progress, but also place it somewhere where it will be easy to reach, it will be easy to read, so and it will be easy to interact. Answering the question why we think that's important, I briefly covered in my answer before, because we believe that player choice is important in our game. So control and choice, something that we will give more to our players. Also, we believe that it's important for players to have a goal in the game besides the go through the mission and interact with the core game loop. They also want to work towards something and get a reward for actions. And while this quest, they all heavily connected to actual performance in the game, why to not reward players for something that they're doing in the missions? If we are talking about how it will help Hunt as a project and for the future, that we believe that we, with this system, since giving the players goals and reward and so to call positive feedback for their action, we also believe that it will help us to sustain players because they have something to work towards, and this way also engage them with our game.
So you talked a lot about player choice and that everyone can choose what they want to do in the game and how they interact with the quest. Why is feedback so important for us in this case?
Because we are making the game for our players. That's why feedback is always important and always welcome. How the feedback will help specifically for the quest system and summons, what we have right now. Basically, we prepared initial pool of quests, right? But we want to expand it. We want to add more and more different and more interesting quests. And of course, we need your help on this because we would like you to share your thoughts. What would you like to do? What would be challenging for you? Or maybe some quest a bit more difficult, and we need to lower the difficulty there. So of course, a lot of information we can get from data, from the performance, how to players completing this, but also to hear great ideas and very exciting ideas about the quest, what players actually would like to complete and they would enjoy it. That's also very important for us because, as I said, we're delivering the game for our players first.
Exactly, and with that, it's worth mentioning that we will often or periodically run some questions on our social channels, asking you guys what you want to see in the game. So make sure to check on there sometimes and leave your feedback for us for any quest in the future. You can obviously also do that in general if you just message us, if you write on our Discord. So please leave your feedback regarding this because we want to improve the system with your help. We have seen a lot of questions regarding the legendary quest 9. Let's just talk about this a bit. How that exactly work, why it's there, and what players can expect from it in the future.
Sure, I'm happy to address all this feedback and concerns about quest number 9, what I called legendary quest. So basically, initial release of the daily quest was done together with the Lonely Hull DLC, and that was the nice way to tie them together and introduce at the same time. In the future, as I mentioned before, this quest, they will be rotating, and they always will contain the condition to equip specific skin, but this will be all DLC already that players already own. It will be some Blood Bonds legendary for sure, and we just need to give it more time when quests are getting updated all the time, and there will be definitely more quests with different skins in the rotation. The idea behind it that for sure now it's tied with the release of the Lonely Hull DLC, but in the future legendary quests, they are part of our appreciation to the players who supporting us, because if players purchase the DLC and or Bloodborne skin. We just want them to give the chance to progress faster. But what's important, and I was talking about this on stream, and I want to mention this once again, the quest number 9 is not mandatory. You can complete and reach the main goal using the all other quests. You can even repeat one quest over and over again. So, and the whole system is balanced in this way that it's not that quest number 9 and completion on the quest number 9 is not locking you from the progression to the main goal. It's not mandatory. You can skip it. If you don't have skins, you don't need to do this quest to reach your main goal. Skins and different weapons, hunters will be rotated in the future, and there will be DLC skins, old DLC skins, new DLC, Bloodborne skins, Bloodborne hunters. That's everything will be there, so it's not only and always locked behind the DLC.
So as our last point today, we mentioned a few times that this is a base of a system that will improve in the future. So could you tell us a bit about what is expected in the future? What can players at least think about? Can you hint us some future possibilities for this system?
But only if just hint, because we will have probably another conversation. Yes, basically our summons and quest system is just the first step and baseline for further improvements on this front. So while now we're focusing on the replacement daily and weekly challenge, with a future big update, we will have a system that somehow related to quest and which will give player the progression feeling, even towards some bigger goals rather than just 25 Bloodborns.
There's gonna be some big goals, we can hint that. So yeah, we cannot say more on that just now, but as Kseniia said, it will come in a future bigger update. So please keep an eye out, and it will be really cool, and we'll share more information on that later. So it is a very interesting topic to players and also to us to hear about how a feature within the game is developed or created. Could you tell a bit more about how you guys came up with the idea, how you worked on it, and what it involves to create something like this?
Basically, every feature that goes to life or before that goes to development passing the first stage when we identify the problem. And that I mentioned before, that problem with the daily and weekly challenges were that players didn't have a control and they didn't like quest challenges that they were supposed to do, and also those were hidden. So problem is identified. Then we are thinking, because first, it's design stage. So designers, my colleague and myself, we are working on the initial design, which we are preparing the documentation, how the feature is supposed to work to cover these problems and actually achieve our goal. Then it's going through the feedback cycle, through the presentation, and then when design is signed off, we basically start to work on this, and different departments and disciplines start to pick it up, and a lot of coders, UI artists, marketing departments starting to work together to bring this feature to life, because it can't be done by one person in design team and one person in the code team. So basically it's a big teamwork. And so yes, and in the end, when feature is getting on live, we are not stopping to work on this, but we keep monitoring, we keep collecting data to basically provide future improvement, some tweaks, some adjustment for this feature. Important part of specifically this feature, since it contains a lot of different quests, was to work with a big scope of data to see and identify the actual performance of the players inside the game, because we can't say that for 1 week you should kill 25 hunters if we will see that one player is on average killing maybe 5 hunters per week, because that simply will not be possible to complete. So there's also a lot of calculations. So basically for some period of time we're just digging into spreadsheets and working for days there. But that's important part of work, to do proper balancing. And but what's more important, that also we need to be able to verify our balancing after feature goes live.
Yeah, that's exactly why the testing is so important. And in this case, I think we mentioned earlier as well. Even the live environment is some testing for this feature as well. So feedback is extremely important in this case. If you guys want to hear about more developer insight in the future, please let us know, because we could create more videos in different topics where the devs talk about their work and how it is done. And with that, we arrive to the end of today's video. Thank you, Kseniia, for driving us through all the quests and all the explanation. Please, as I mentioned earlier, read our blog for the FAQ, check back on our social media, leave your feedback. You can follow us on Twitter at Showdown, Facebook at Showdown, Instagram at HunTheGame, on TikTok. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And again, Kseniia, thank you.
Thank you very much, Bence, for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk and explain. I hope some insights actually helped the community to understand the reason behind it. Make sure that you leave feedback, and we promise that we will adjust and improve the systems in the future updates. So looking forward to see your feedback when you will be performing this feature on live. So yeah, thanks again.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.